Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Benin Francis. Listen, in this video, what we're going to be talking about is why most men will never actually achieve being lean, and some things you can do to avoid being in that category. And if you are doing some of these things, which I'm going to mention, you can almost guarantee you won't be lean. So you know you need to change direction. All right. First off, thanks for all the support on my page. Everybody commenting, everybody liking, sharing, subscribing. I see every single one of you guys, look at all the comments. And I just appreciate it. You know, I really love hearing you guys' stories and just all the obstacles you've overcome and how you're on this journey along with me as well. And it's cool, man. We're building a community, so I'm gonna have to come up with a name, man, for you guys, man. The team members, something like that. I don't know, the team. You guys help me out with a name, man. But without further ado, this is why most men never get lean. Number one, men in our society, in today's society, they have a problem with discomfort. All right, there's a saying that hard times create strong men create good times create weak men. Like that is a fact. You know, just alone, we haven't had any like super major wars or things globally where it is necessarily called on the men specifically to say like, hey, we need men right now to serve. Like you think about the 1940s, 50s, 60s with the, you know, World War I's and II's and whatnot. Even for African Americans during that time, right? That was the first time that, you know, our forefathers, black, white, whatever, we were all fighting a war together. It was like a global scale war. And it was something specifically that were like, hey, we need men, you know, we need hard men. A lot of these guys came back from military training, boot camp, you know, they were raising, you know, strong young men. And like nowadays, it's just so much convenience and ease of access that people not only dislike discomfort, like they don't even seek it out. Like not even a good discomfort like exercise, not even good discomfort like discipline. It's like it's not even a forethought or afterthought. People just want men just want convenience and ease, and that is not the way of a man. That is not how we grow, how we get better, is through ease. That's not. A lot of times a woman, they grow through adoration, through love, through emotional connection, through encouragement, like, you know, being around the family and love and relationships. Like emotionally, like when a woman is well off, she has those things. She has a lot of love in her life from her husband, her kids, you know what I mean? But with men, we need discipline. We need hard times. You get what I'm saying? And these hard times can be self-imposed. It doesn't mean that you have to be out struggling in life and like poor and in abject poverty. But what I'm saying is there needs to be some infliction of pain or suffering on yourself for a greater good. Now, I want to make a distinction between suffering for a just cause and just suffering because of bad decisions and consequences, because they're two different things, right? When you suffer for a just cause, like you're fighting for something, fighting for health, fighting for justice, fighting for a better body, you're suffering as a result of there's a greater good or end result, or more good is going to come from the suffering than bad. Versus if you're suffering because you make bad decisions, you don't take care of yourself, you don't take care of your relationships that you have, you're doing things that are degenerative and destructive, and when you suffer because of that, you're just dealing with the consequences of your actions. So they're two different things. But a lot of the major religions in the world, specifically Christianity, why do you think, like, people like to just skip over the suffering piece of Christianity, of the cross, right? The cross represents literally a torture mechanism, right? Like people are wearing all these, you know, people wearing these dainty little crosses. Now it is literally like carrying around a electric chair around your neck. Like that was the Romans' like torture mechanism back in the day. So people like to just skip around this aspect of suffering in the human existence as if like it doesn't exist. Like we don't want to go through discomfort or pain, when sometimes God can use the very discomfort, pain, and suffering in your life to bring something out of you that otherwise would have never came out of you. To you like sacrificing yourself or sacrificing some time, you create so much more good in the world from you going through a little bit of pain and discomfort and suffering. You get what I'm saying? So that is the number one problem. If you have a problem accepting the fact that you will suffer on this journey, it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard, you're not going to make it. You have to actually seek it out and understand that the pain is building a better man. Okay? So that's number one. Now, number two, a lot of us can have a mommy mentality. And what I mean by that is that if a lot of us, man, if we were just raised by moms, single moms, maybe your dad wasn't around, you didn't have strong men in your life, like the mom's job is like nurture and protection. Oh, Johnny, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. Oh, Johnny. Oh, he scraped your knee. Oh, let me kiss it. A lot of us, if you don't grow up and you have to love and respect your mom, right? I'm not saying that, but you need to get to a point, bro, where you are your own man, where your mom now respects you as a man. She doesn't just look at you as like a baby. And no matter what, she's going to always look at you as her baby boy, but she'll know this is a man. You get what I'm saying? Like this is a grown man, and you have to get to that point. You have to get out of the mommy mentality. You have to have your own mind as a man and not have your mom's mind in your head. Because if you have a mindset of a mom, you are not going to take risk in life. Everything is going to be uncomfortable, and you know, literally, bro, like it sounds kind of crazy that I'm saying it out loud. It may be hard for some of you to conceptualize, but when you think about it on a subconscious level, if you move like your thoughts are not even your own thoughts, but they're actually the thoughts of your mother, you won't be a real man. You have to be okay with disappointing others. You have to be okay with pissing people off sometime for the greater good, for a goal that you have. Now, this does not include harming people or harming yourself to get ahead. I do not agree with that. That's a weak man that has to take from people to get ahead. That's weakness. But what I'm saying is that some people that don't understand your goals, you have to be okay with pissing them off or even losing some relationships for your purpose, for what God is calling you to. So, and I'll give you guys a quick example. You know, and my parents had got divorced, you know, when I was a kid. So around like 13, 14, I had to navigate who am I? What is my place in the world as this overweight, chubby kid whose parents got divorced? And I didn't really, you know, it was a hard decision to make. And right at very pivotal years in my life, from 13 to 18, that's where a lot of men can go off course, literally from 13 to 18. And I was 13 when this happened. So only thing I knew, and one thing my parents gave me, is they raised us all in the faith. So I just started praying to God because I didn't really know what to do. So I just asked God to just help me. You know, it was my favorite scripture, Psalm 27. You know, there's a verse in there that says, when father and mother forsake you, the Lord will take you up. Just meaning that in life, sometimes the people closest to us, even our own parents, can let us down, but God will never let us down. He'll take us up. So I turned to that verse. I could just kind of clung to that. And, you know, God has helped lead me to so many things, difficult things that shaped me as a man. It didn't just happen automatically. I didn't just say, God help me, and then I woke up and I was jacked and masculine. I said, God help me, and he allowed me to go through hardship. He allowed me to go through adversity, right, to build my strength up. You know, he allowed me to go through things that try to shake my confidence or shake my faith so that I could, you know, further depend on him and see that I can get through these things. He allowed me to find the gym, a training ground that I can go build up my body and, you know what I mean, get jacked and get lean and get disciplined. You know, I was in the military, and it just all these things, right, that have shaped and molded me as a man. And they never would have happened if I just clung to the mindset of like, you know, just a mommy, or you know what I mean? I had to be my own man. All right. So you guys have to be okay with that. And it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but the sooner you know, get that pill in your system, you will be better off for it. All right. Now, here's the other thing right here. Last one. A lot of guys just aren't willing to do the hard work when it's in front of them. We all like to talk a good game about diet and nutrition and calories and caloric deficit. Yeah, it sounds cool, sounds cute, right? But when you actually are in a caloric deficit, bro, it sucks. Like, it's like controlled starvation. like you know what I mean? I think I heard listen to this guy Luther. He said it was like starve maxing or something like that. But I thought that was so funny because it really is like controlled starvation in a way. Like, you're hungry, bro. You know, and the other night, I had to make a decision because earlier in that day, I had a few more extra calories than I should have. Like early in the morning, I woke up, I was starving. So I just ate some food. I had some carbs before I worked out. Now, I usually don't do that because I like to save my calories for later in the day. So I feel like I can eat more, closer to the end of the night because I get hungry. This particular day, I didn't do that. So you know what I did? I logged it. I logged, this is what I had. So I'm going throughout my day, I'm eating normally, whatnot. Around like 6, 7 o'clock, I'm like, okay, well, when I go home, I can have this dinner. Like, I'll have my dinner prepared because, I know how many calories it is. I was like, surely I have enough calories for that. Bro, I checked my Fitness Pal. I'm like, yo, I had like 200 calories left, bro. You know what I'm saying? To eat. Now, I could have just said, whatever, I'm just going to eat what I want anyway, or just screw the day off. But no, I had lean ground beef, green beans, and I went to bed. And I was a little bit hungry still. But I had to adjust my food intake because of a decision that I made earlier in the day. I made that decision to eat a little bit more earlier in my day, so then I can't just now not log that. I have to be honest with myself, right? And here's the other thing. When you're on this journey and when you were faced with a decision like that, what I like to think about is that this is where most people quit. This is where most people give in. Like when I'm at my lowest or at my weakest and I want to give in, I say, this is where most people give up at. There's no difference between the coward and the hero, except for the fact that the hero acted despite of his fear or her fear. They're experiencing the same emotions, but one acts and the other doesn't. So when I have these decisions in life, I say, this is where most people quit. This is why most people don't advance in their business. They don't advance in their bodies, because this is a hard moment and they're not willing to get past this point. So I love it. I'm like, good. Let's get past this point because I know I'm going to get further. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you have to look at it. That's how you have to frame it. You have to be honest with yourself, with your food, with your meals, with your output. And that's why you need to track everything so you have data points, right? And then you need to just commit to it no matter what. All right. If you're not willing to do any of those things I just said, I can almost guarantee you would not be lean, bro, unless you're taking some type of drug or something like that. But even then, it'll come and go. All right. If you do the things that I just named, you will get lean. It will happen as a byproduct. But everything I just named just now, guess where it all starts at? Up here. It's the mindset. It's a shifting of mind. Shift your mindset around. You grasp this with your mind, your body will follow. All right, guys. Link in description to my coaching program. Link in description to my ebook. I walk through the blueprint of exactly how I lost over 60 pounds, got lean, helping other men get lean. So if you're interested in that, you can click that. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. And man, you've been watching my page and you're not subscribed yet, bro. You're just tuning in. You're just a visitor. Come join the team. All right. I know we don't got a name yet, but we're gonna come up with one. Promise. But hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video, man. Thanks for watching.